last year, but it doesn't appear that way so far. But some of us in the room are much more hopeful than others of us. So hopefully that will change. Cool. It's nice to see everyone. Welcome to our all of our artists tonight, all of our audience watching on Facebook Live. Um, I figured I'd wear this shirt so that you wouldn't really know my point of view on things.
Yes,
So, um,
that's what it says on the other side of this curtain.
awesome, awesome.
My,
Welcome
my
everyone.
t-shirt says grab him by the pussy, so there you go.
Yeah, so welcome everyone. We're really excited to be back. We took a break for the holidays, and Tim and I were talking before we signed on. Today, or I should say, with the events of last night, actually, I was a little hesitant to do the show today. But as we were talking about before, this is in these times, or when art really matters. I mean, and we really need to say the things that we want to say. We need to laugh a little, and we need to just connect and share a little bit of what we all do with each other to keep hope alive, right? So we have a really good show tonight, as we always do. We're coming to you from New York City, from DeKalb, Illinois, from Buffalo, New York, from Colony, New York. Who are new to what? To it's a safe space for artists of all stripes to test out any new material. So comedians, writers, poets, actors, musicians, dancers, visual artists, any new piece of art that you're working on, this is the space to try it out. But that also doesn't limit, what we do here to brand new work. If you have stuff you've read before, or you just want to, fine tune some older work, it's just a safe space for artists to gather. We used to do it live and in person, and now because we can't do that, we do it virtually. So, if you know folks that if you are someone watching, or folks that would love to grab a slot one week, shoot us a message. We're happy to have anybody new every week. We have some regulars. That Talk Card's always free. But we do accept donations, and 100% of the donations that we take during the show and a little bit after all go to all of our artists performing tonight. So it's been really helpful all of last year. All of those donations have gone to help a lot of these folks who have lost work due to COVID. Their primary jobs, their secondary jobs. So 2020, as shitty as it was for our audience, all of you watching, to thank for that. So thank you very much. You paid a lot. You helped pay a lot of people's rent, get a lot of people's groceries. So thank you for supporting the Outer Loop and for supporting Talk Art. I won't say much more about the events of yesterday. I imagine all of our artists are probably gonna, or some at least, will probably speak to that. But this is a tough week, and we've had a lot of tough weeks over the last year or so. But like I said, again, it's events like this that I know get me through and get a lot of us through, connecting with each other and sharing what we do. Let's get right to it. Before we do, another reminder. We take donations, and we take them through Venmo at Talk Hard, right there. That's our Venmo handle, at Talk Hard. So you can donate anytime throughout the show. And again, all of those donations go right to our artists after the show. They get divided up equally among everyone. And if you're not a PayPal person, I know some of you loyal, feel free to blow the comments up during the show, and we'll pass that information on to all of the artists if they're not looking at the comments while they're on. So thanks again for everyone for being here. I'm gonna let Brittany in, and we're gonna get started. Our first artist is a Talk Hard regular. Some might call him a legend. I often do. Not mostly. Mostly, I call him a legend, right? Yeah, I think we call him a legend mostly. But he's definitely a Talk Hard regular. He's the co-host of the Panic Attacking podcast. Super funny, super awesome, super red background, and from Astoria, here he is, Andrew Chavone. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Michael. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Am I too loud? Can you hear me okay?
You're
I
good.
feel like my microphone's
You're pretty
wearing
good.
out.
Sounds good.
Cool, man. Thank you, Michael. I like your goatee. Were you inspired by the Capitol protesters?
Oh.
Oh, I'm joking.
Can you read this?
Oh my God, I know. You look like you were protesting the Capitol and protesting the protest at the same time.
What the fuck is this, man? I give him these like awesome intros, and then he fucking shits on me.
I know, it's just the three of us in here, so I feel like
No, Brittany's here.
it's more like a meeting or something. And plus, you laid it really heavy at the beginning. I'm just trying to light it up.
That's funny.
It's all good. It's
That's
good to
cool.
be here, everyone. I just got back. I was away. I'm visiting my parents for the holidays. I brought my girlfriend, and I gave her the tour around my hometown. Have you guys ever done that? My tour around my hometown is just me driving around, pointing out stores that used to be other stores. It was like 3 hours of me pointing out the car window going like, you see that AutoZone? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that used to be a Blockbuster. Dialysis center? I'm like, well, so I'm like, used to rent movies there. He's like, cool. Yeah, I like movies. So I grew up in Virginia, moved to New York. I thought living in New York, I was in showbiz just by living in the town. You know, like they film movies on the street here. So I would like see if I saw a movie being shot like in Midtown, I would just stand around and look at the cameras and stuff. And I thought like in the back of my head, I would think there would be a voice that would be like, you. I'm like, me? Yeah, you. We need you in our movie. I know there's a whole casting process and, you know, we got to talk to agents, negotiate salaries. We got to vet you and we got to see how you read and we got to see how you react to the co-stars. But you, just the fact that you're standing here, we want you in the movie. That never happened. Usually they'd be like, you, get out of here. Stop eating the food. So, yeah, I feel like a grown-up, though, for the first time ever this week because I stopped using my mom's Netflix account. First time ever. I feel so mature.
Nice.
I still use my old roommates, but I have to watch whatever he watches. So he doesn't know. I'm like, you watch The Witcher again? Watching, who's that guy? Have you guys ever seen The Witcher? It's so bad.
No.
It's fake contacts. Don't watch it, please. It's so unless somebody here has watched it and really likes it. To science to study the effects of football on their bodies. I think they should do that with other things. Like I once worked with a guy who drank 2 Mountain Dew energy drinks every day before 10 a.m. He would chug 2. I want to see what's going on in his body. I want to examine that. I want to know how he lived to 12. I want to know how he made it to the lunch break. I know. I got a feeling. I know why the football players' heads are messed up. I think we open because I think he's going to be dead soon. All right. So when I was visiting home, I don't want to brag here, but he was like, hey, can I tell you, he was pumping gas like across from me. And he goes, hey, can I tell you who you look like? And when people say that, they're basically like, hey, can I hurt your feelings? Because it's never good to say that because he got really offended that a stranger didn't want to hear his opinion on my face. So he was like, okay, it's going to be good. I'm like, all right. And then he said, you look like you ever see Silicon Valley? And I say, yeah. He said, you look like that character Big Head.
Oh.
The character's name is Big Head. And he said it wouldn't be offensive. And I looked up the guy. He's ugly. So, and his name's Big Head. I used to get called Big Head when I was in grade school. They're gonna get owned by this comeback. So sure enough, the next day I get called Big Head. So I turn around, I take a deep breath, and I say, "Well, I have a big head because I have a big brain." And they laughed and made fun of me for being a freak and a nerd, a guy who looks weird and is a dork. So, all right, that's more sad than it is funny, everybody, but it is true. The experiences we experience make us the people we are today. Mainly my head size. I think okay, what else do we have here? I got my notes to the left of the screen.
Sweet.
Okay. Oh, this is good. Hiking, everybody. We do it. Hiking is just walking and thinking there's spiders in your hair. Swatting. People like camping. I don't know why they like camping, mainly because, you could leave the woods after you're done. You don't need to sleep in there. Be like, oh, you know what's fun? Waking up every 5 minutes because you hear a twig snap. Every time you hear a twig snap, you think it's a murderer. That's a blast. That's really relaxing. Okay, well, that's I think all the time I have. Thank you, everyone.
Sweet.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Andrew.
Nice.
So good to, as you know, so good to have you always. Mostly because your red curtain matches my shirt.
I know, I color coordinated.
Yeah, it's nice.
You noticed I turned it on when I saw you. So.
I did. I like that. You know what? I did want to comment on your the energy drink thing. For
no way.
For like what? 15 years. 15 years religiously for 15 years. Every day of my life for 15 years in the morning, like my morning routine was like I would get up, have an ice cold Red Bull, then go get man, my heart's racing. Like, is that like my heart feels like it's gonna like fly out of my chest? And I was like, but that's normal because I just worked historian, right? Yeah,
I
so like
7 Red Bulls in the green room of the Syracuse Funny Bone before a show once.
Oh man,
Oh,
it's too many, man. It's too many. It's too many.
I worked at Syracuse Funny Bone, and they have them for free, and I got paid like.
That's amazing. Cool, sweet. So thanks, Andrew. Like we joke, you and I, a lot, but it's
I love the jokes. Yeah, that's this show.
No, but fun. I love having you, and it's always like I've said before, through these tough times that we've had throughout Talk Hard 2020 and 2021 so far. It's always nice to have you, and I think we're even going to stay in New York. We're gonna
Benvenuto, ami. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. What's going on? Everybody's got.
Yeah. Whichever ones you're thinking they have. Yeah.
They have.
The fun ones.
Yeah. Sweet. I'm gonna leave the jokes to you. So, welcome everyone. Brittany's actually Brittany started on Laugh Hard with us last year and has now moved over to the grandfather of the grandmother, I should say, of the Hard series, Talk Hard. So, welcome,
I'm a very
Brittany.
hard grandmother. Thank you.
So, welcome, Brittany. It's good to have you.
Thank you. That's exactly what I go for. I just try to be the hardest grandmother on the block. Or as they call them in Miami, abuelas. Hi. Hola, welcome. Yes, I'm here. I'm home in Miami, Florida. It's interesting you guys are talking about energy drinks and Red Bull and stuff. And I was like, yeah, we bypassed that down here. We're doing Coke off mangoes. It's a food group. But no, I'm living in Miami. I grew up down here. Miami is a predominantly Spanish speaking city. I'm not fluent in it. But I have figured out when older women are talking shit about me in Spanish. Yeah, I spent enough time down here, like nail salons, hair salons, bottomless brunch, grocery stores, you name it, my Uber drivers, right? I know, because they always call me muchacha, right? They're always like, ay, muchacha wants a manicure. Ay, muchacha. And I'm like, we get it. That's Spanish for tiny cunt. Like, we figured it out. I got it. I'm down here in Miami. It's fun. It's fun down here. It's a sexy place. I'm a 4 in New York, but I'm a 4 down here, so it's ovulating. No, but Florida, I get it. Florida gets a bad rep. I understand that. I understand it's not a good place. I voted for Biden before anyone thinks that I'm part of the problem. And I know with a last name like Brave, it could go either way. Like, you know, it's too American. I get it. Yeah. Like, it's like Britney, Make America Great Again. But no, trust me. I'm liberal. But Florida does. It gets a bad rep. And I've been spending enough time down here that I think that a way that you can tell how smart or stupid a place is by judging the level of trivia in the backseat of a taxi cab. Yeah. And I feel like when I'm in New York and I'm in the backseat of a taxi and I'm fucking around on the screen, they're asking me questions about current events and news and politics and historical events in the world. And I was in the backseat of a taxi in Miami and they asked me to identify the difference between a bagel and a muffin. So bar's low. It's low down here. Yeah, they're like, if you get this question right, you advance to the bonus round, which is just a voter's ballot. We just want you to practice. Get those reps in while you can. But no, they're YOLO down here with the pandemic. They do not care. Even when Miami was a hot spot, we would be like, we're number 1 in cases. We have the most cases. And they were like, what you're saying is we're the winner. Literally got catcalled the other day where a guy told me to pull my mask down and show him what my mouth do. And I was like, what do you think this is, asshole? Florida? I'm not just going to give you a blowjob in the street. Come on, you know? But yeah, so I apologize for being from Florida. It's okay. Yeah, I'm living at home with my mom and my dad again, aka every comedian's special in 2020. It's great. I'm home. I'm horny. I'm playing a lot of Mario Kart. It's just like 9th grade, except I'm in more debt, and I have a lot less hope for the future. It's not good. So the other day I was, my mom's name is Karen. I also want to just talk about this. My mom is Karen and she's white. And again, I'm sorry. This is just my apology tour. This whole fucking Zoom show. I'm sorry. But she's 60. So she like logs onto the computer and she's asking me why Karen is trending on Twitter. And I'm like trying so hard to explain to my 66-year-old technologically inept mother why Karen is trending on the internet. And she thought that it meant that she personally, Karen Lee Brave, was trending on the internet. And I was like, that's the most Karen bullshit you could pull. Ironically, like, that's what you're doing right now. And she's trying to quit smoking, right? Which is good. She's been a smoker her whole life. She's trying to quit smoking. Personally, I think her choosing to quit smoking when I moved back home during a pandemic and my entire industry collapses is kind of a bitch move, but like, it's okay. So the other day I was trying to tell her, I was like, Mom, I really want you to quit. I really want you to see this through because I want you to see me have grandkids someday. And I guess she was cranky, so she snapped back and she said, why don't you just try and get a boyfriend first? And now I'm like, you know what? No more supporting you, bitch. I hit her Nicorette pills and I'm leaving cigarette butts all around the house. Like, this is war. This is war, okay? It's like not going well. She gets Nicorette like 4 times a week and now she's embarrassed at the local pharmacy. So she literally sent me in today to buy it for her. She's like, don't make eye contact. I'll meet you at the front of the store, aisle 7. Just take the money and go. And I was like, Mom, you are too good at this heist. Like, you are too good. All right, what else do I want to do? I guess I'm trying to date, and I want to say the pandemic is making it hard, but it was terrible before, so that's okay. It's fine. Literally the only action that I'm getting is I have a young man sliding into my DMs on Instagram, sending me videos of him playing acoustic guitar. Yeah. Call me old-fashioned, I'd rather the dick pic. And I know what to do, you know? I'm just not turned on. I don't really know where to insert your cover of Hoobastank's The Reason. Like, I don't know where to do that. But I've been asking my guy friends for dating advice now, because for years I've been primarily asking my girlfriends, and that's gotten me nowhere. So now I ask my guy friends. And anytime I do that, it's very aggressive. very like, I'm like, I think I might be into this guy, and the advice is always like, just do it, just show up at his door naked, suck his dick right there on the porch, he's gonna love it, that's it, go for it, Britt, do it, right? Like, has that worked before? They're like, I dream of it every night, I think it's super hot. But watch his Instagram story, he'll love it. I feel like so we just started a new year, and I feel like people who say they had a good 2020 are assholes. Like, even if you did, keep it to yourself, you know? Like, you don't want to be the one person in the group text who is in a relationship and all the single girls are bitching, and you're like, Chad just bought me flowers, and we're like, we're gonna kill you, Jenna. Like nobody wants to hear that. That's all I want to do about the year, because we're still in 2020, I'm pretty sure. All right, I'll do like, I don't know what time, I forgot what time I started, so I'll do like one quick one and then I'll get out of here.
It's loose here.
Great. Okay, I will, which one do I want to end with? Okay, yeah, who had sex ed growing up? Sex ed, anybody? Yeah. I feel like, by the way, every time I do comedy on an outdoor show and I have to put a mic condom on the mic, I'm like, this is karma for not ever paying attention in my class. This is what I get. And it's like, I'm not good at this. I fumble, and I think it's a nice setup for the abortion jokes I have later in my act, but we won't get into that. That's too heavy for Zoom, I think. But my one gripe about sex ed is I think that they teach girls scary things like pregnancy and STDs, and they don't really teach them pleasure and coming and how to enjoy your body. You know, like, I had to go all the way out of my way to fuck my gym teacher to learn that. So I know, if I were somebody with a salt and pepper beard and a broken marriage, please send them my way. I'm pretty brave. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Brittany. That was amazing. So amazing. It's nice to have you. So two things I wanted to say. One was, I spent most of my life I'm like the genius who grew up in New York and like was living in the nightclub scene, doing way too many drugs, and then was like, I got to get out of this life, so I'll go to fucking South Beach and to get away from it. Right. Yeah.
I'll go to South Beach to chill out, right on Collins Avenue.
Yeah, to get away from like the partying and the drugs. So that was, and then I woke up 10 years later and finally figured it out. But the other,
it's always funny in the winter when people are like, I'm gonna go down to Florida to chill out. It's like, no one is chill in Florida. No one. Yeah.
The other thing you and I have in common is that we have white mothers named Karen who are Karens. Well, I don't know if you said that your mother was a Karen, but like, yeah. So, but yeah, we both have white mothers who are Karens, and my mother also didn't understand why Karen was now a thing. And I also had no idea how to explain that to her either, but like,
it's awful. Like, my mother, she's not racist. She actually just directs her intolerance and ignorance onto me and my father. We are the sole recipients of her hate. But we look like her, so I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
That's funny. Brittany, and then I'll come back to you, Andrew, because I forgot. Brittany, do you have any like shows or other, like projects that you work on that you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm if anyone is in Florida, I'm doing some outdoor shows across Florida this month.
Because COVID.
And then I have some virtual stuff. I have a show called Improvised Tarot where comedians bullshit tarot readings, and it's fun. We have it this Sunday night, and get a reading and get a laugh. So follow me on social media, all that stuff is
So
there.
where can people find your stuff?
At Brittany, at Hard Grandma.
That better be your new handle now.
It should be.
Okay.
I'm thinking about a rebrand. Yeah.
Project shows.
Have you stopped drinking the Red Bulls, by the way?
Right. Like, the reason I stopped was because like a week before my first trip to Tanzania, like 4 years ago, I suddenly we were at a play in New York, Rachel and I thought I was having a heart attack, and the that got all black and dark around me, and my heart was beating out of my chest, and I was like, oh shit, I'm having a heart attack, we have to go to the hospital. And then I went out to the street, and it kind of calmed down. I went to the hospital, and I learned that, and Rachel was like, don't fucking lie. And I said, really? Like, is that a problem? And he was, in my life, I've woken up and had a Red Bull and a large iced coffee, and then I've gone to the gym. He's like, yeah, don't do that. Like, you gotta stop that right away. And then 2 days later, I was back in the hospital because I had another one that I just, this was new, like in my life. I had never had these before, so I didn't know what they were, and I thought I was having heart attacks. And like, so now, then came the Lexapro and the Xanax prescriptions, and now I don't have panic attacks anymore. But yeah, like that's why I stopped that's a long story for why I stopped the Red Bull, because I was in the hospital twice for what I thought were heart attacks.
Oh my God, man. In this show, you've dropped so many interesting facts about yourself.
You thought you knew me.
Red Bull, Tanzania, plays. You're going to plays.
South Beach, so many things. Yeah.
This is Learn More About Michael's show. That's what we're doing here.
Man. So yeah, well, speaking of panic attacks, my podcast is called Panic Attacking. We talk about anxiety, and then lately we've been having this therapist that listens the whole time and then talks at the end, and is that true? It used to be just us joking about anxiety. Now we have like
a qualified professional,
right? Actual advice now.
That's cool.
Aside from me and my friend going like, I would do this, man. Because people
That's
write
sick,
in.
Andrew. I'm gonna invite a therapist onto my comedy shows now too. I'm gonna be like, can you just sit in and tell me what's wrong? Like, can you?
They'll do it. They're bored.
Yeah.
When is that, Andrew?
36 transmitted medical radiate. I just got 36 magnetic treatments to my brain over 36 days. Just finished this Monday.
Nice.
For depression and anxiety. It's great. So I've had electroshock, so that's always nice to have.
Nice.
On your resume.
That's my God, man.
Yeah.
Well, I hope
I'm
it
Archie
works.
McMurphy without the chief.
Oof. Sweet.
All right. You said that last time. Remember we made those jokes about don't put a VCR tape by your head.
Right. Well, I finally finished on Monday.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. So, Andrew, when can people catch that?
So it's released every Monday. It's on like iTunes and all the Spotify and stuff.
Oh, sweet. Where you get your podcasts.
Wherever, yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome. Thanks, man. So now we're gonna hop over to another Talk Hard regular, comedian, writer, poet, magnetic impulse therapy recipient. It just completed this past Monday, as we just learned. Also, for those who don't know, Tim was also kind enough to join the Outer Loops recent end of the year fundraising gala, and that was really nice to have him as well. So welcome Tim Joyce, everyone. Hey Tim.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna break the comedy thing, and I'm gonna do something. I just said I'm gonna do something for you. I've been working on my Foghorn Leghorn imitation. I thought, I figure now that all the cartoons when I used to watch when I was a kid are racist and I can't watch them on television anymore, I'll just recreate them for you. No, I don't know if any of you have television sets, but last night America became Syria, and so which is great, except they don't have as good of Middle Eastern food here. So I decided for the first time, I usually read, I have an original poem I wrote today because I stayed up all night thinking about the one woman who was shot to death crawling through the door while the guy said, if you come through the door, I'll have to shoot you. And it was shown on BBC and it was heartbreaking. I never really believed in America. I mean, I know it's here. I'm sitting in it. All my shit's here. But, you go someplace like the UK even, and they have like healthcare and, better pubs. And so I will read another poet's poem, fairly famous. Then I'll read my poem that I wrote this afternoon about the woman who got shot. So get ready to laugh. And Dad could speak and write Gaelic, so I thought I would start, because it really kind of happened last night, with William Butler Yeats's The Second Falcon, cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it, real shadows of the indignant desert birds. Darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem, born.
Nice.
Billy Yates. I couldn't sleep last night because I saw the video of the woman being shot, and she's a Karen, was a Karen, and I'll just, this is called Power Exchange. The rage built in me too, seeing the all-white, hate-whipped mob turning where I live into South America in the 1930s. I remember how we were forced from age 6 onward to salute the flag, how the nuns made us do it just seconds after the Hail Mary. Such similarity. Neither held words with meaning to us. In fact, we stressed in the chant the wrong syllables in both. Few 6-year-olds really do know what pledges or allegiance or wounds are. I'm not thinking of all we share, but more I think of the broken glass woman they killed as she scrambled against the warning, one bullet and a family with no mother. The sadness haunts me. How the middle-class whites always are duped to hate the poor whites. How the poor whites are duped to hate brown people. How the nation grows, it seems, more hatred than wheat. Once again, a farcical man, inspired like 80 years before, death, but never his own. And I think of her family, how she may even have lived near me, how a line at a drugstore may have held us both, and we could have chatted about lines and shopping, but instead, a man of hate stirred her rage forward to death in the home of senators. She, losing her life like Caesar in the supposed home of law. We cannot continue to hate. There's too much difference. The dangerous fools can talk mothers into graves over mail-in ballots, children, husbands, friends, chatting strangers, all at each other's throats over objects or words or gender or melanin. I pledge allegiance to love, to newscasts with no bodies to talk of, to living mothers, to talking with those who disagree. Hail Mary, full of grace. There are no differences, only love. America, please arrive soon. Your 245-year-old imitator succeeds only in creating money and grief.
Nice.
In this last piece, I did with Shakespeare in the Park here in Buffalo. We did a production of Pericles where we used the poetry of Robert Creeley, who was in residence at the University of Buffalo at the time. And my great friend Ray Leslie wrote music to it. So if you'll allow me to annoyingly clear my throat. I'm going to sing it to the tune that we sang it to in 1984. The show was changed from Pericles to Americles, and the review said this: audiences are not getting their money's worth at the free performances of Americles in Delaware Park. This is America by Robert Creeley, one of the greatest poets of all time. Please read his work. America, you owed for reality. Give back the people you took. Let the sun shine again on the four corners of the world. You thought of first, but do not own or are your own word. You invent is where we are. Give back what we are. These people you made are you to be. Thank you.
Nice. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
It's always, as you know, our great honor to have you with us every week. We love having you as often as you can be here. Thanks. That was great.
One night.
Yeah, it was a great night. Thank you. Cool. So just a reminder, everyone, see me here, and if you're not on Venmo and you're a PayPal person, like I know a few of our Talk Hard fans are, Rachel has been dropping the PayPal link in the comments. And yeah, so just a reminder that we take donations throughout the show and a little bit after these tough times. So we really appreciate everyone's support. So thank you very much. We're going to shift gears a little, but we're going to stay in this exact chair. You're just going to see someone who's not me.
Wait, stick around actually, because
Oh,
we
you
had
want-
a
I'm
late
gonna-
edition that, and I received that. I'd like to read, and I think that, yeah, I want to get your feedback on.
I feel like I'm being set up for something that I didn't sign on
It's
for.
just that one artist that we work with frequently, we've been lucky to work with a lot over this pandemic. He was developing a show on Talk Hard. I know Sergio really well, and this piece just struck like a different chord with me. So I just wanted to read that to start before I. Tupac is not alive.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was a setup.
Tupac is not alive. Tupac is not alive. In 1996, he died. A lie. Oh, how can one of the most famous rappers of all time disappear without a trace? Where could he possibly hide? Tupac is not alive.
He is.
Tupac is not alive. For the love of God, the man was shot. He didn't survive.
That's what so first of all, a couple of things about this bullshit. Number one, you get back, Kylie, like we all
I
were
knew
clear
immediately,
there was a setup. Yeah, there was a setup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I
but
know.
now you can leave.
Oh, I can go now?
Yeah, bye.
Okay, cool. So everyone, this is Rachel Yoder. She's gonna read something, and I'm sure she'll explain it. Hold on. Just doing all the pinning things. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, like exemplifies what we've all felt in 2020. Like it's just a roller coaster. And 2021 so far has been a roller coaster of terror and joy at the same time. But this next piece that I want to read is written by another artist that we've been pretty lucky to work with over the years, and someone who's really special to me. She wrote this poem. It's called I Hate Christmas, and she sent it to us not for performance on Talk Hard, but as an expression of how she's feeling right now, and it just really it really hit me, and I think it resonates with a lot of people, especially around a really difficult holiday season. So I wanted to read Kathleen's words for you tonight. This year, I'm trying to not hate Christmas. It's not the first year that I've tried to smile through the never-ending season of fake joy in our jolly, fa la 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 world. The glut of food, the guilt, the gift buying greed, adding Christmas clutter to my already cluttered life, then adding lights. Long lines of pandemic traffic, going to the mall conglomerate, not sleeping stress, icicle weather with trembling emotions in the midst of grief and mean-spirited, kindness-killing politics adds disgust to my seasonal truth. I'm glad when Christmas is over. Forget the 12 days song and story. One day is too many. I'm glad I made it through another Christmas day of trying to not hate, seeking peace. Emmanuel, God is with me. Kathleen Kerrigan this way back in here that we are developing a show written by Kathleen, and that's going to show up as part of our season, our 2021 season in February. It's called 13 Suits, A Mother's Monologue, so be on the lookout for more of Kathleen's work.
It's Sergio and you. Like, is
If
this real?
If you read this is my my intro text that
Oh man, no! Like that was obvious. I knew that was coming. For those who don't know, when we lived in New York City, Sergio lives in New York, and when we lived in New York, we used to hang out a lot after Talk Cards there in Brooklyn and in Manhattan, and we would sit at the bar. And we're both big Tupac fans, but he and I got into the whole right from day one. Like this is now going back 6 or 7 years. From day one, we got into the whole, is Tupac still alive or dead discussion. And he is smart and normal person, and realized and always had that argument that he was obviously still alive and like hiding out somewhere and was going to come back. He gets to poke me with that. But when Tupac comes back, it's gonna all be like he's just gonna have to, it's fine. He's gonna have to deal with it that day when we're gonna have Tupac on Talk Hard and bring Sergio on. And yeah, look out for 13 Suits coming. It's a very important piece that we've been developing for a few years. Cool. So we're gonna move on to our in the comments. Thank you for those who have already donated, and we'll keep it open until a little bit after the show, and all donations go right to our artists after the show. So thank you. We really appreciate your support. Our final artist of the evening, many of you who watch Talk Hard have seen before. She's a writer, a poet, a cat lover. That's her the only strike against her. She's from. And I'll let her tell you what's cool about her being with us today and in the future. So, Kylie Gorski, welcome. Hey, Kylie.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. I'm pinning you. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I was. What's special, I guess, about me being here is that I've been developing a novel since I graduated. I actually thought it was when I graduated college, but I looked back through my initial notes, and I think it's actually been since 2014, so a couple of years longer than that.
Wow.
And I actually workshopped it at a workshop in Skidmore the summer after I graduated college, and I took most of the notes of my peers, but for this particular piece of it that I'm going to be reading tonight, and hopefully I will be reading it serially throughout the weeks on Talk Hard. But for the prologue and the first chapter, I'll be reading today. And in the prologue, the one note that I didn't, and I think you'll know probably around when that note was made. And yeah, I mean, I guess I don't want to give away too much. I reveal the story in bits and pieces. I finally got an idea of how I want to reveal it. So I'm just going to say that right now we'll call it a courtroom drama, or like a true crime drama.
Cool.
Yeah, so here it goes. This is the prologue to start.
Cool.
With her father gone to work and the rest of the house asleep, Natalie Moorhart quietly slips into the backyard, coffee cup in hand, careful not to let everything is still cool and dewy. One-handed, Natalie slides the door of the gray barn open, only slightly, lest she disturb the pile of sleeping, full-bellied barn cats who lay in the hayloft, sedate from their sunrise meal. She sets her coffee on a rafter and finds a greenhouse. There, in the sunset, a C drawn out in river rock. My little crow. She gingerly collects the stones and sets them aside as if to apologize. The dirt gives somewhere, deep down, below her life, her childhood. The grass around her begins to form a horizon point that seems significantly deeper than what would be sufficient for the grave of a household pet, and wonders if she's been omens, but there is none. How is no one awake yet? She thinks in some now far away part of her brain. With no answer forthcoming, she decides to keep digging down. Perhaps the shoebox casket and its contents had already decomposed. A breeze swoops around the greenhouse and lands behind her ear. A man whispers to keep digging. Against all sanity and will, it seems, Natalie picks up another scoop and tosses it over her shoulder. Some soil, as it had been for a while, slips and falls into her hair. One more scoop and she sees something, she thinks. She kicks away the remaining earth and stares at what she's uncovered for some time, making sure that it truly is what she thinks it is. A rotting, gray, human hand. Natalie is, at first, overtaken with curiosity, and she falls to her knees, frantically brushing away dirt with her hands, which exposes more a bare stomach, legs, shriveled toes. She gags when she finally takes a breath. The smell of dead human flesh burns its way through her nostrils, travels to her tongue and sticks to her taste buds. Her eyes water, and a biochemical fear snakes around her neck and crawls under her skin. The smell of stagnant sewage spewing from failed intestines and of bacteria clinging to organs, breathing. The coppery, salty iron stench of dried, reabsorbed blood, and the smell of an omen, evaporating off the skin of a terrified ghost. There, a body lay, and all of its melting, decomposing anatomy. The face is sullen and bruised and hollow. It wrinkles below dry, dead, mousy brown hair. Natalie looks closer and sees maggots sliding lethargically around the holes where eyes should be, some of them fat with flesh, roll carelessly off of full bellies into the cavity below her own dirty fingers. She stands up and grasps the loose edge of the hole, and with a strength and speed only possible with adrenaline as fuel, she pulls and pushes and wrestles and blinks violently, trying to remove death's stench from her soul. So that is, obviously less was not more.
Sure.
In that instance. Yeah. Probably should have warned you guys about the content rating. I don't know. Your shirt has fuck on it, Michael, so I think it's fine.
No, we don't censor here at all.
Chapter 1, The Napping House, Part 1. Accompanied by a lawyer Mrs. Nurse had recommended, Miss Margaret Wilk Hamilton, Esquire, Natalie walks down the seemingly endless courthouse hallway, past marble is somehow out of breath. The judiciary chamber, Margaret answers as they walk. Right. Why doesn't this place echo? It feels like it should echo. Stop tugging at your collar. Margaret wrenches Natalie's hand from her shirt. This is just an interview. They want to hear the story from your perspective, from the very and ultimate beginning. Well, it all started when I met him, she whispers as Margaret heaves the heavy chamber door open. Margaret is undeterred by her client's fear. This is all they have ever needed. This case could finally incite real change. She swallows a smirk as she thinks, this is the case of the century. She's ready to win the unwinnable, move the otherwise unmovable, and wears her gray suit and purple paisley shirt like armor. That's not the very and ultimate beginning, though, is it? Margaret bows her head closer to Natalie and lowers her voice. Natalie can't ask a follow-up question because she hears muffled conversation and the shuffling of chairs as the judiciary enter the chamber and take their seats. In 1994, 10 years after Audrey Wood published the children's book, The Napping House, it was gifted to Adelaide Morehart for the occasion of her daughter Natalie's birth. It was so beloved and so well read by her daughter, by her to her as Addie prepared a late morning snack for her children and her dogs, had peanut butter smeared on its cover. Addie placed a cubed apple with just a dab of peanut butter in front of the eager nose of her blonde Karen Terrier, Donut, so named for the way she preferred to sleep. Next, an apple halved and de-seeded with a whole peanut butter scoop in the middle bowl of her golden retriever, Ham, so named for his desire for attention. Some went to Tipsy, the three-legged beagle, some to a pot-bellied pig named Bessie, and finally, she gave some to her greatest pride and joy, Koosh the Lhasa Apso, so named by her children for his face, which resembled a koosh ball. Mom? She heard a small voice inquire. Huh? She turned. Oh. Her 8-year-old son, Evan, sat expectantly at the kitchen table with nothing to eat in front of him. I'm sorry, honey bun, Addie said as she quickly cut another apple. Her 3-year-old, her little curly-haired Natalie, would need some too. And where's your sister? Evan shrugged. Addie was frantic. The country kitchen, which led to the back of the house, was ajar. Adelaide stormed outside. Evan sat alone, still having had nothing to eat, and sighed. Addie found her daughter, fast asleep in the loft of the Red Barn, being warmed by a small pied-coated cat that was not hers, barn-dwelling or otherwise. She hissed at the mongrel, and it startled awake. Get off of her! The cat jumped down with an annoyed meow, and Natalie awoke and began to cry. Addie, balancing one leg on an upturned pail, reached into the loft and retrieved her toddler. She shuffled back to the house and mumbled grumpily into Natalie's blonde hair. Damn thing probably gave you worms. Her voice bounced with each hurried stride. Natalie was bound for the bathtub.
Nice. And that's really nice, Kylie.
Wow.
Really?
I love the
It's
shift.
not terrible?
No, I love the shift in tone from the prologue to the for the first chapter. Yeah, really nice.
Good. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
No,
I'm
really
glad.
nice. That's
It shifts in tone quite a lot throughout the story. It's kind of the darkly humorous,
That's
like
cool.
me.
Yeah, exactly. Darkly humorous. Like, hey, I can't. Yeah, totally. Cool. No, I'm psyched that you're gonna, like read this throughout and hopefully, be able to develop it a little bit. And
It had that feel like even cowgirls get the blues. It had that feeling, especially the chapter.
Oh yeah, yes, like kind of a pastoral kind of. Yeah. It's definitely set in a rural. Yeah.
Body stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Really
Thank
it was, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, and I said a lot last year. Oh, and we did it anyway, and especially at the beginning of the pandemic, and then through the George Floyd murder, and the weeks after, and the election, and there were just days where we were like, oh, there's the kitty. There were, just times that it was just hard to like, oh, are we going to do the show? And I'm always, even when I hesitate because I'm maybe not feeling great that day or depressed, we do it. And then after the show, I'm always like, of course, that's why we do it, because we fill our hope tanks back up and our art tanks back up. And yeah, I'm just really grateful to have you guys and always welcome you. So we're super grateful. One last, I couldn't even do it on the last one. One last, it's like it should be that, it's not. At Talk Art, our Venmo and our PayPal link is in the, I know I should. First week back, every Thursday we're here, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Any friends? You just have a microphone in front of your face.
Well, in case you wanted me to say something, I was going to say
You were ready.
Yeah.
Or if you visit the Capitol.
Just always ready.
Right.
Who's destroying?
So yeah, thank you everyone for letting you read her poem. Sergio for keeping hope alive that Tupac's coming back soon. And yeah, we'll see everybody next week. Thank you again. We love everybody. Stay safe. Stay
Thank you.
home. Thanks everyone.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, we'll see you soon, everyone.
Happy New
Take
Year,
care.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.